Hello guys, what is going on? I am Nozda and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Scorch Trials. So the Scorch Trials is the second book in the Maze Runner trilogy. Well, there's 4 books like there is in many trilogies where they just like add a prequel or like a spin-off book. But yeah, anyway, so with the original Maze Runner, I will link the video here. Because this video is going to hopefully be a lot shorter than that, because I'm basically going to say, because I really didn't like the first Maze Runner, you can go watch the video and see my I fire glasses and see my reasons why. But in this one, I'm going to talk about how this compares to the last one, because the written extremely the same, so it'd be kind of weird for me to repeat it, especially considering these reviews are 1 week apart. So just reading the blurb here, solving the maze was supposed to be the end. No more puzzles and no more running. Thomas was sure that escaping meant he would get his life back, but no one knew what sort of life they were going back to. Well, that's not strictly true, but whatever. Burned and baked, the earth is a wasteland. Its people driven mad by an infection known as the flare. Instead of freedom, Thomas must face another trial. He must cross the Scorch to once again save himself and his friends. So, yeah, it's pretty much just the second one in the series is carrying on. So I'm going to talk about why it's better. Much like Catching Fire, why it's probably going to be I haven't read Death Cure, by the way. Why it's probably going to be the best one in the series. So to start off with, to talk broadly, it felt like a more complete story. With the Maze Runner, there was so much setup for this book, and this book uses the first book so much, but it felt like the first 2 books could have been one book, and it would have been so much better. Because the Scorch Trials is completely uses foreshadowing really well at the start, and it's very relentless in making you think like, oh, that was where the foreshadowing leading to. That was the red herring that they've now uncovered, and that's it. But then there's more, and then there's not just more. There's more on that as well, and that's what if you like that sort of thing where you feel like you're never on knowing the full story ever, like you're constantly unsure, then that'll be good for you. I thought it was good, but it left me a bit frustrated at times. One of the main issues I had with the first book was the main protagonist, Thomas, had basically like a terrible emotional spectrum. Basically, it was either anger or like happy, angry or happy at like any time. It wasn't anything in between. But like I said, this should have been one book. With the Maze Runner, there was a lot of downtime. There was a lot of him just by himself, just thinking things through, which is fine. I mean, in a dystopia, and especially in a dystopia woken into, like when you had no previous memory of your life before, that's fine. But he was so much inside his head, and his head was so black and white, it just didn't work. If you're gonna do that sort of storytelling, you need to be good at writing a good protagonist. And Thomas is definitely not a good protagonist, but in this one, the story sort of diluted by other interesting characters. Like Brenda, I thought was a really interesting character, and you barely got any of her backstory. But yeah, I know, like I said, setup was bad, but I feel like they're setting up Brenda much more for Death Cure, and hopefully that's going to be good. I'm not too certain about that though, but yeah. That's pretty much it. Just moving on to some of the bad stuff that might repeat from Maze Runner. The chapters are very similar to the last one. If you don't like being left on a cliffhanger after every single chapter, and the chapters being 5 pages long, so you just kind of get numb to cliffhangers. Then that's up to you. Because I mean, like at the start of reading Maze Runner and a bit of Scorch Trials, I ended up reading like 100 pages in the bath. The water went cold like twice, because after every chapter I'm like, no, I need to find out what happened. They've just set that up, so I need to find out what happened. But after a while, you get numb to it, like I said. And yeah, but let's actually, you know what? I'm going to end up repeating a lot of what I said about Maze Runner, because everything I hate hasn't gone away. There isn't like added stuff that I hate in this book. It's very much just similar stuff that I hate, but they've improved on some things. That's why I think it's better than the first one. But let's move on to the book that I'm going to be reading next week, I guess. Very much like the Maze Runner. In fact, no, not the Maze Runner. Very much like the first 2 books that I read, Lord of the Flies and the 5 People You Meet in Heaven. I picked up this book. It's called Station 11. picked up this book when I was going visiting university. This one was Salford. The last two were Huddersfield. The reason why I picked up this book is because there were a bunch, like loads of books that I would like to have read, but I only wanted to get one because my mum was paying for it, and she was only paying for one. I didn't want to pay any money. But I picked this book because it was on the shorter side, and it also said that it was reviewed and loved by George R. R. Martin. He says, a book that I will long remember. So, that's pretty cool. Station 11. I'm not going to tell you the blurb about it, but you can go read it up online, I guess. It just looks really cool. It's basically... I'm going to try and read a bunch more sci-fi, because sci-fi is my favourite genre. It's just I haven't been representing that on the channel. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be reading a lot more sci-fi. I will tell you how many pages it is. It is, come on, it finishes. It's 329, so like a shortish book, shorter than both Maze Runner books anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna be reading this, and then probably the week after I will either do Death Cure or a different book. It's just I want to take a bit of a break from Maze Runner because that book definitely slowed me down. It's taken me almost a week to read it. So yeah, to put in perspective, I read the first 3 books. A Lot of Flies, 5 People You Meet in Heaven, and Maze Runner in the span of 2 days. So yeah, that slowed me down quite a lot. But yeah, Station 11, hopefully it's going to be good, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. So thank you guys for watching, hopefully you enjoyed, and I shall see you in the next one. Goodbye.